Every word ever written, and many more that never were, can all be found in the narrator's great and vast Athenaeum. These are but a sliver of the words of countless ages of Beryl and its gods. Many great men ask me why I keep so many rare and delicate flowers in my palace. This is to remind me of the follies of weak kings. A king should always be attentive to their flowers and keep a great number of them. If they do not pay their servants and attendants enough to take care of them, they will pluck them in secret and sell them in the marketplace, and they will die. If their servants do not care enough for their masters or their service, they will neglect the flowers, and they will die. If they force their servants to water the flowers out of fear, the delicate flowers will be overwatered, and they will die. If he keeps rare and delicate flowers, the king must educate their servants sufficiently, or the flowers will die. A king with wilted flowers is a fool, and a king with no flowers at all is not worth trusting. Timothor, king of the Jade City, the age of stars yet to pass. After thwarting the plots of demonic cultists, saving the city of Alzvin from an infernal threat, the party finds themselves traveling east on a skyship over the vast sea of sand that is the Drojan Desert.
I totally kicked ass.
The Reliance sails. The Reliance sails gently through the cold, dry air as its captain hearken at its helm. Crewmen work the riggings and manage the sails while the stone engineer keeps the ship aloft. Your destination, Your destination is Ozah, a grand city that sits atop the back of a great flying beast. Your goal, to seek out the estate of House Mir at the behest of your patron, and answer a favor in his stead. You have your gear, your wits, and a letter of entry into the city, but what adventure lies ahead? Good evening. Welcome to another episode of KrakenQuest, where we will be beginning a new mini-adventure called Beryl and the Shadow Kings. Zeitgeist will be returning in a month and a half-ish. I imagine that's when Carter will escape the bonds I left him in. But for now, my name is Philip, and I will be your DM. Joining me are Chris.
Hi, I've been demoted.
James.
It's more of like a side shuffle, not really a demotion.
Sam.
I finally get to play a barbarian, but apparently I should have rolled up a gardener.
And Catherine.
Still the girl.
Wonderful. So we're going to be playing in a world that I've been working on called Beryl. This is a level 6 adventure that will be taking place on the continent of Tigana, specifically to the far east. Why don't we introduce your characters and tell me, as you do, tell me where you are on the ship, going backwards. So, Catherine, why don't you introduce us?
Woohoo! I'm playing Sulwyn. Sulwyn is a young, sunborn lady. This is a homebrew campaign, so if you don't know what that is, don't worry about it. You'll know soon enough. She's about 5.5 feet tall, with really dark hair that starts at the roots and falls in waves to her shoulders, where the tips almost glow. But you don't really see it because she wears it pulled back in a bun at the base of her skull. The wonder in her eyes could be mistaken for naivete, but woe to the one who tries to take advantage. She may not know your motives, but she sees your bullshit.
Okay. And where do you imagine she would be on the ship?
She is as far forward as possible, looking to see when that city comes into view, because she's been waiting for, like, a while to get a view of this big-ass city that's floating above the ground.
True, you've been probably sailing for about a week now. Okay, and Sam?
So Wolfric Stormblooded is an Andi, who are kind of the brutal people of the frozen Northlands. He has dark brown skin and long white hair and a beard. But just that look at Wulfric Stormblooded will tell you that violence has touched every part of him. From the lightning scars that run the length of his spine and arms to the scars of countless duels, raids, and battles that adorn his whole body. Even his horns show signs of this violence, those on his face long broken away, and those atop his head bearing the cuts and dents of past blows. Though most telling of all are his amber eyes that shine without a hint of weariness. Those eyes hunger for the next fight, the next challenge that will propel this warrior of the cold north to even greater heights of glory. Are we expected to get there today?
You are expected to arrive by like late afternoon.
Okay. So Wulfric is probably on deck, kind of sitting off to the side, sharpening all of his weapons and just kind of getting ready because he's gotten a little antsy.
Yeah.
Just kind of waiting around.
Okay. And let's see here, James.
Okay. Ragnar stands tall with a proud demeanor. He wears his long black hair in a braid down his back, and he has dark gray skin tattooed with red across his eyes. He has a dark tan leather coat. It's been tanned and stitched from the hide of a beast, slain while protecting Balstad. Oh, I should have mentioned he's a Branir, which is another hardy and strong race from the mountains in the northeast, but a different one. The monster's fur lines the trim along his shoulders and the bottom of the jacket. His right-hand sword is rather plain, but his left sword is silvered. Looks as if it was molded by hand rather than worked in the forge. He's had this sword for as long as he can remember, and it serves as a symbol of his faith and gives him confidence that he acts as an extension of Seer's will.
Okay. And
Ragnar is probably spending time with Havmir, given that we share a faith together.
okay.
We probably are getting ready to get off the boat if we're not ready already.
Okay. And yeah, Chris.
Hafmir, as it's actually pronounced. Thank you all.
Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
While having the features of the hunters, the Andi, is where they are tall and broad, he is short and scrawny, and where they are nicely tanned, he is ashen white in his skin tones. Closely cropped white hair and eyes that smolder like embers, and dark crimson, almost black horns ring his head. He wears a long sword at his hip and wears flowing light robes that hang off of his limbs. He is always light on his feet, always looking around, very observant. On the ship, he'd probably be found just kind of off to the side, watching the crew as they go about their chores on deck.
Okay. Okay then. So yeah, we open up on our scene. The ship, the Reliant, is moving at a gentle pace. Sky ships, for what they have in versatility in traveling over all types of terrain, seemingly unbound by gravity, they are not the fastest of vessels. But still, traveling over air across a desert is definitely better than traveling the desert itself. And you've made your way out of the Call Mountains about 7 days ago and are expected to arrive at this mysterious city that you've really only maybe heard about in legend or myth or tall tales. And as you do, yeah, the crew is working about. There's Harkin's ship makes up a total of 7 crew, including himself. a stone engineer, and 5 deckhands. And they really just kind of go about making sure, the rigs are good, the sails are appropriately done, following their captain's orders whenever he barks them from behind the steering of the ship. You've known this, you've been Harkin's guest for about a week now. He's an older Ondai with a weathered face that's become hard and wrinkled. He has a thick salt and pepper beard and the body of a man who has worked very hard all of his life, but has also earned like the rotund punch of someone that has found success in life. He wears, a thick overcoat that keeps the cold wind and clouds off him. That's I think something that maybe y'all weren't necessarily expecting was how cold it is at such high elevations of the world.
We're over the desert.
Yeah. High elevation. And also, again, the Drosian is actually very cold with its northern being so far up on the continent. It's definitely not what you think when you think desert of a sea of sandy dunes and blazing heat. It's actually a very cold place. As you are going about the ship, anticipating your arrival, you can hear the captain yell that we should be making the final ascent. We should be actually near and under the place, the great beast, but we're going to have to take it up slowly. Altitude can really get to you.
Philip,
yes?
quick note. Chat says that you're a bit loud and James is a bit quiet.
We can adjust. How do I make myself quieter? I guess I do that in OBS, right?
Correct.
Whoop. James goes up, and I go to my thing, and I guess I drag this bar down, and that makes me quieter. Just a little slider underneath my microphone.
Probably not significantly,
Yeah.
just because you're the DM, but
Okay.
a little bit.
Yeah, I moved it down some. We'll see what chat has to say, and we appreciate the feedback on this first go. So yeah, as the ship is slowly moving, and you can see it now, where before the ship was kind of, clouds and low clouds were just kind of passing you, you now see almost as though the clouds are dropping under you as the ship goes up. The stone engineer, very focused at her work, which is what makes these ships float, are these mystical minerals excavated from the ground that, when attuned to, you can actually make them move, and by attaching structure to them, you can in fact make a ship fly. So let's see here. So yeah, as the ship is going, once more, kind of what is everyone doing? It sounds like Solwyn is just like eager at the front, wanting to be the first person to see this city.
I have to see the city.
You have to see this city. And everyone else?
So like I said, Wolfric's probably sharpening all of his weapons. He's probably right now working on his magic sword, which almost looks like it's like carved flint. This great sword with runes in it. As he sits up on deck, sleeveless in his armor, not at all worried about the cold.
Okay.
Rognon's sitting with Havmir, but Rognon's sitting with Havmir, but he's a bit airsick and is trying to hide it. So he's just kind of sitting there, sternly trying to make sure he doesn't get sick.
Yeah. Just that, you're just putting on that stern visage, which is actually really a mask for you trying to keep it all down.
He looks angry, but really he's just trying to intimidate his body into not vomiting.
Yep, okay. Okay.
Hoffmir's staring at Ragnan, trying to figure out what this expression means.
Okay. So
As
then,
if there's some deeper meaning beyond air sickness.
right. Okay.
To be a heretic.
Well then, let's get this all going.
I already know he is.
Solwyn, could you please give me a perception check?
Hell yeah. First roll of the game, not great. But that's okay. She believes in the 3 Ps. She's pretty good at them. 11.
Okay, an 11. So as the ship is, again, now slowly ascending, moving past thick layers of cloud, Harkin at this point, he's just kind of like at the helm, like just kind of like slowly moving the wheel back and forth as the ship just kind of drifts side to side. He's just kind of cruising, probably not helping out with Ragnan's stomach, unbeknownst to him. And he's just kind of telling a tall tale of a time he traveled far to the south, and the things he encountered, the sights he saw, and the men and women he laid. And then suddenly, over the winds, there is a fierce screech. And as you all look around to see what could have caused such a cacophony, I misclicked. Yeah, that was a dramatic transition, James.
Okay.
Oh, nice shot.
I wish I could zoom in more.
Let's see if this works. As bursting out of a
Whoa, make
Yep.
it stop.
Sorry.
bursting out of, oh darn it, I was hoping this would work. Oh well, out of the clouds come a number of reptilian beasts as they fly in and dive towards your ship. They're these large-scaled reptilian lizard-like creatures with long, giant wings with cerulean webbing over a pale, sickly magenta skin. And as it shrieks, the sound resonates in your bones as much as it does your ears. If everyone could just go ahead and roll initiative.
No.
Let's dive into this.
All right.
So these are kind of
10.
like wyverns.
Okay, yeah, just get the number and I'll ask for it. Okay. Let's see here. Go to my pre-created initiative page. Okay, 15 or 20 to 15.
22.
22.
I
Curse
rolled a
you.
natural 20.
Okay. So we got Solwyn at a 22. And then you chimed in, Chris. What are you at?
20.
20? Oh, so
I only rolled
close.
17.
Okay, 15 to 10.
10.
10?
Mhm.
Okay. And then 10 to 5?
I was really hoping Wolfric was gonna like crit his initiative because he's so happy to get to fight something,
Mm-hmm.
but I got an 8.
Okay.
It's like, oh shit, there's something to fight. Drops his sword on the ground.
So
Pick back
fucking
up.
happy to get to fight something today.
Okay.
I have to do 20 strokes.
So,
20!
okay then. So,
Wait, I wasn't done
It's
sharpening.
important thing.
these things swoop in, landing on the ship, hitting into the rigging as the large one finds its way onto the starboard side of the ship. You feel the ship lurch with its lurch with its weight, and then the ship begins correcting itself as you see the stone engineer kind of shifting her hands in a way to right the vessel. Solwyn, it is your turn.
Woohoo!
Throw your orb at it.
How many of these things are there?
So there is one large one
And 3 littles.
and 3 little ones.
Okay. And
There are 2 at the bow of the ship wait, no, the bow's the front, right?
yes.
Yeah, sorry. 2 on the stern, up on the stern. There's 1 kind of above, I'm trying to, above, let's see, that is Ragnan and Havmir.
Yep.
And then the large one is above Wulfric.
Okay.
Hofmir.
So
Off.
I would like to.
Hofmir, like almost like an F sound, Chris?
Yes.
Okay.
Indeed.
Solwyn's gonna run up to the edge of that upper deck area she's on.
Okay.
Perfect.
Yep, that's about 15 feet of movement there.
Perfect. And she's going to cast Bane,
Oh!
the big one and the little one over by the dudes.
Okay. Okay, so
to
the
make a Constitution saving throw of 50.
Constitution saving throw of
Sorry, not charisma.
Sorry.
Charisma.
Oh, okay.
Hey,
Oh man, they're way worse at that. Okay. The large one, the Mind Shrieker,
Okay.
got a 1.
Yes.
And then the smaller one, because Bane has a range of
30 feet.
30 feet, so yeah, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
Be able to get those.
they're just within range.
Yeah. I know.
Like barely. You're catching them right on the edge, and so the small one rolled a 19
Okay.
with a -3 to get a 16.
Still succeeds.
Okay, so we have baned the large
But
boy.
I'll take it on the big guy.
Yep. Okay, so that is this one. Yep. So we can put Bane. Okay. So what does spellcasting for your character look like? Paint us a beautiful picture with words.
I hadn't gotten this far yet. She's new.
Okay, well then.
So Solwyn pulls out her what's it called?
orb.
Her focus, her spellcasting focus.
Okay.
And it's a small, maybe 4-inch in diameter crystal ball looking thing.
Okay.
And she says her words and she kind of, the orb starts to glow and then shoots out 2 beams
Okay.
of sunny light, kind of a pretty yellow color.
Okay.
at
Yeah.
Each of the
Wonderful.
doohickeys. I don't know what this shit is, and neither does Solwyn probably. Let's
Yep.
be real here.
Yep. Okay. That makes it Havmir's turn. Or sorry, Hafir?
Hofmir.
Hoff. Yeah. It is your go.
All right. So how high up is the one next to me?
It is about 15 feet up in the rigging.
15 feet, you say?
15 feet, I say.
Are you just gonna use that magic item right away?
Huh?
It doesn't the magic glove you have a range of 15 feet or something?
No, it knocks something back a distance, but it does.
That's what I was thinking of.
All right.
Hey,
so-
real quick. Sorry, before I let you do your thing,
Mhm.
can I shout at Havmir and be like, I saw your fortune, you got this! And give him a bardic inspiration.
Sounds good. Yep.
Is that a D6?
It is
Turn-
is it?
It's a D8 at your level.
It's a D8 at level 6.
Yeah. And I
Cards are fucking ridiculous.
can add that to what?
Any D20 roll.
Cool. All right. So I'm gonna run and leap up onto the rigging.
Okay. Okay. If you could give...
Close enough to this creature.
Give me... Oh, whoops, sorry. Give me a quick athletics check. Or acrobatics to get up the rigging. Without much.
Acrobatics. I got a 15.
Okay. So yeah. What is your speed? I know monks get super zoomy at higher levels.
I have 40 feet of movement speed.
Oh, okay. So 5, 10. Yeah. So you just like leap into action, hopping up on like jumping and like bounding off the rigging. The side like edge railing of the ship and just lunge up into the rigging and are able to close the distance as this creature wheels on you and just gives a hiss again, which you can like feel it just like reverberate like nails on a chalkboard moving down your spine.
Cool. And in a smooth motion, I'll pull the sword from my hip
Mm-hmm.
and take a slash at the creature.
Okay.
That's a 22 to hit.
That definitely hits. Like, I haven't even looked at their AC. That hits. It hits literally everything in the monster manual.
So that'll be 10 slashing damage.
Okay.
Oh, actually, I guess. Well, I'll remember it for next time. But
next time.
Oh, I was gonna say, I guess I could wield it two-handed until I get.
I would say that you would need a hand to kind of keep yourself steady on the rigging.
That's what I was thinking. For now, I probably need that. So that's 10 slashing damage.
Okay.
And then I think I'll use my bonus action for an unarmed strike.
Okay.
And then the bardic inspiration. Do I use that before or after a roll?
You can use it after a roll before knowing the outcome.
And again,
okay.
Yeah.
I'll use it. Okay, so that's a 14 to hit using the inspiration to give me a +4.
That hits. You hop up on the rigging, you slash into it, you hear and remember Solwyn's cry of encouragement, and you just clock this thing.
Alright. And I'll get 3 more bludgeoning damage on it.
Chris, how would you like to do this?
So following through with the slash upwards at the creature, Hofmir kind of follows through with a backflip to just like kick the creature off the side of the boat.
Okay. And as you do, your cut goes through a large portion of this thing's wing, just crippling it, and as you kick it, it flies off the side and just quickly plummets out of sight.
Awesome.
And with that, it is now the Mind Shrieker's turn. It looking across to you, Hafir. It lets out a bellowing, echoing shriek that fills the air and again radiates in your bones. It is going to, as it moves like down the rigging, move towards let's see here, Wolfric, and it is going to attempt to attack him. So it gets okay. It gets an attack. Doop. Wolfric does a 17 hit.
Did you use the -4? Minus D4?
No, I did not. Thank you for reminding me.
Bane.
Wolfric does a 14 hit.
Fuck no.
So it like its head snakes back and it opens its jaws as it goes to bite you, and then there's a twinge of yellow energy that makes it flinch as it snaps, and its head goes its head and fanged maw goes like right past you as you move to the side, and then its tail whips around with its barbs, and oh, that's Wolfric does a 3 hit.
Totally.
Okay. Well then.
Also, chat says we're a little quiet.
Oh, okay. Everyone is a little quiet.
No, just me and Sam.
Oh, you and Sam. Okay.
Wife.
Let's bump you up a little bit.
Bum, 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 bum,
Also,
bum,
my
bum,
little
bum.
dance just made my watch think that I hit 10,000 steps.
Nice.
That's a lot of dancing.
Okay. With that, it is this thing's turn. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wolfric, you hear from behind you again another shriek come from this little adorable critter on the side, and you feel like a pulse, like a migraine, very quickly set on. Could you give me a wisdom save, please?
Yes. 12.
You shrug it off, and with that, it is.
On me.
Yep. Let's see. The shriek 2 is dead as it was cut and plummeted off the ship, which makes it Ragnan's turn.
Let's see. Ragnon's gonna... That one, to the left of me, is he up in the rigging, or is he on the ground?
Up in the rigging.
There's no way I can get to him in one turn. So, I will move 40 feet towards him.
Okay. So, 1, 2, 3, 5. About there.
Yeah, I mean, as close as I can
You
get.
got a speedy
Okay.
party with 2 barbarians and a bard. And
Yeah.
a monk.
Yeah. Okay. So that's
and
your
then-
movement.
I will throw some javelins at it.
Okay. Make an attack roll.
Where's my other
Are
D6?
javelins dex or strength?
Their strength. Any thrown weapon is strength.
Sweet.
So the first one
That's why I bought
is
10.
a 9, and the second one
Real quick.
is
As you throw it, the captain yells out, "You got it, laddie!" Reroll that attack roll, please.
Oh, cool.
As he
20.
that hits.
Okay, and then the second one is a 25.
Both of those hit.
Okay, and the total damage is... where is my attacks? There we go. Plus 3. So 9 and 7, so 16.
Okay. Both of your javelins hit true as the creature just like jerks and twitches as the javelins impale it, and then it just kind of goes loose as it plummets off the side of the boat.
Oh no! Off the boat!
Yeah, off the boat.
It was really tangled in the rigging.
No, it wasn't in the rigging. It was on the rigging, and it lets go, and its wings like a kite carry it off with it.
Well, I guess I will mark off 2 javelins permanently. Good thing I had 8. Whoops.
I don't even remember saying that. Like only 2 months ago.
Which Wolfric, it is now your turn.
Cool. So Wolfric, overjoyed at getting to fight this thing, is going to go ahead and start raging.
Okay.
And as he does, his eyes kind of shine brighter and static, and not even static, electricity kind of starts arcing along his spine and his arms. And go ahead and reckless attack this big guy.
Okay.
And that's going to be a 20.
That hits.
Cool.
Go ahead and roll damage.
So that's going to be... My brain forgot math.
13.
Yes, 13 damage.
Okay.
And I'll go ahead and make my second attack. Is that one also with advantage?
Yes. Reckless attack has been whatever to where it affects both attacks.
Cool. So the second one is a 26.
Hits.
Oh.
Full damage, so that's 17.
So 13 plus 17 is 30 damage.
Yeah, he swings his giant
yeah.
flint black claymore into this thing.
Yeah, and you just like cleave into its. You just swing your mighty blade and just cleave into its side.
Yeah.
Which now brings it back up to Solwyn's turn.
Alrighty.
I missed being a barbarian.
Uh,
It's my class, and I never get to play it.
I'm going to... I think I'm just gonna shoot at it from here with my crossbow. The big one.
Okay.
This will probably not hit. 6.
No, that does not hit.
I will holler out to Hofmir again because I know how close he hit it right after I hit it the first time, and I'm gonna be like, I knew I was gonna mess that up, but you're not going to.
Thanks for the opening.
Okay. Anything else?
Yeah, that's it.
Oh,
Okay.
fuck, I forgot to do my lightning damage.
Oh, yes, please, deal your lightning damage.
Yeah, so electricity arcs off of Wulfric towards this big thing, and it's going to make a save.
Okay, what kind of save?
Dex.
And that's the big one.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's minus 1d4.
Okay. What you said a dexterity save?
Yes.
Okay, it rolled after Bane a 16.
It resists, so it's only going to take half.
Okay.
But it's still it takes 1.
Okay.
As electricity arcs off of Wulfric towards it.
Good to know. Going back into initiative order, it is Hafir's turn.
All right. I'm gonna.
To remind you, yeah, you are 10 feet up the rigging.
Yeah. So I'll just jump and dash and get as close as I can with 40 feet.
Okay. So you move here. You're up.
Not dash capital D. Sorry.
Yeah. So yeah, you move over this way. You're a monk with slow fall, so you get down to the 10 feet just fine. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40 gets you to the other side of the boat. The creature is 10 feet up.
Cool. I'm gonna.
Oh wait, I'm sorry. You would actually be able to be under it because it moved down to attack Wulfric. So actually, you would be able to get in melee with it.
Oh.
So
okay.
you're like under it, and it's like so it's like 5 feet above you, and you're attacking it like through the rope rigging.
Well, then let's do this to not risk setting the boat on fire.
Okay.
I was just gonna get as close as I can and use produce flame, but
Now able to get close. Okay.
A longsword strike.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I'm so good at this game. 25 to hit.
Yes, that definitely hits. I'm sad. I forgot to do something. I need to make a note. And we'll just do it from here on out.
Why would... Is there something I'm not remembering, or...
Does it seem like your attack bonus is off?
Well, my on Beyond, it has the versatile attack with a lower damage modifier, which might just be a glitch.
It might be a glitch in that it's trying to use your. I think it's trying to use your strength, maybe.
Yeah, which is weird because I did manage to get it to work.
I'm curious if when you wield a weapon with 2 hands, it forces it to strength for some reason. Because I wonder if that's something with 2-handed weapons, but I doubt it. I mean, it's your monk weapon. You're wielding it with 2 hands the way a monk should. So, just add your normal.
Where does the extra? Because it's showing as 1d8 plus 5.
And then 1d10 plus
3. But I'm wondering I'm trying to think of where the 5 actually comes from now.
It's like it's adding your proficiency to damage, it sounds like.
But my proficiency would be plus 3, wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't know. You don't have the +1 longsword, so I don't know where
Maybe
that's...
it's adding your strength and your dex.
My strength is -1.
Oh, well, then that's definitely not the case.
Is there anything else that the monk weapon changes?
It just whether or not you can use strength or dex. I don't know how that's happening, but it should be 1d10 plus you have a dex mod of 18?
Plus 3.
Oh, plus 3. Yeah, so it should just be 1d10 plus 3.
Yeah. Okay, I'll look more into it later. But for now, I'll take a versatile attack. So that'll be 8 slashing damage.
Okay.
And then we'll follow up with an unarmed strike.
Okay.
Which will be 20 to hit.
Hits.
Modified 20. For an additional 5 bludgeoning damage.
Okay, so yeah, you just lay into this thing's underbelly through the rigging and ropes, which now makes it this creature's turn. It's going to fly up here. Chris, please give me a wisdom save, please.
Do I get an opportunity attack on it as it flies away?
No, it flew very far overhead and up.
Okay.
I got a 16.
Okay, you pass as, again, this thing lets out a shrilling cry, and you feel like a migraine start to, like, grow out of the back of your head, but you manage to just shrug it off. Which now makes it Ragnan's turn, and I'm going to do the thing that I should have been doing this whole combat, but forgot. So almost everyone got a free pass on it. Ragnan, if you could make a wisdom saving throw at the beginning of your turn, please.
3?
You fail. So as the Mind Shrieker's wail just itches and claws its way into your brain, let's see, where are you? So yeah, as you're moving up the stairs, kill that thing, you feel this, like, piercing, like a knife being driven into your temple, and your vision goes white and blurry. You take no actions, you take no actions on your turn. You are effectively stunned.
Oof. I can't even move?
Nope.
Fuck. Wisdom save at the beginning of your turn or take no actions. That sucks.
Wolfric, please also give me a wisdom saving throw.
5.
You fail.
Does it still take lightning damage from my storm aura?
Is that just something that happens at the beginning of your turn, kind of thing?
Let's see. You gain a 10-foot aura effect when you start your rage, and as a bonus action. Oh, it's bonus action.
So, something happens. Is Hafir odds or evens?
Even.
I guess I fall out of rage.
If you could make a melee attack for me, Sam, with your sword.
You just have to
That's
attack
not good.
Okay, cool.
or be attacked, so you're fine.
I don't like that.
That's not good at all. That's a 24.
So, as this piercing pain singes into your mind, the edges of your vision going white, you just blindly swing your weapon, hitting the creature. Please roll damage for me.
Yay, I hit it.
Mind control in the first combat of this campaign.
And that's going to be 11 damage.
Okay, you strike the beast for 11 damage.
Oh, no, sorry. Did I say 11? I meant 13.
I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure it's 13.
Okay. Which now brings it to Solwyn, who is, we know, within 30 feet of the creature.
Yeah.
Please give me a wisdom saving throw.
Sure.
And this is how we die. Join us next week when I run a campaign where something else happens.
Is this a frightened effect?
It is not a fear effect.
Okay,
Oh,
then
shit.
it's just a 9.
I can attack twice.
Yes, you can.
Okay.
Take back what I
And
Take back what you said about what?
okay.
said. Being good at this game.
Okay, so Solwyn, you feel a similar effect of pain and blurred vision. Could you please give me a Constitution saving throw?
Con save modified 20.
Okay, you managed to keep your spell.
Yes.
But otherwise, lose your turn.
Okay.
Hafir, please give me a wisdom saving throw.
I got a 14.
You push past this searing pain in your brainscape and continue to take your turn.
Hey, I remembered I can attack twice. So I'm gonna take a. He climbed up the rigging a little bit, right?
No, he's it hasn't had its turn yet.
Oh, okay.
Wait,
Oh,
did I
but
do that
there's
right?
another.
wait a minute.
Huh?
Because yeah, no, the Shriek went, then Ragnan went, lost his turn, then Wulfric went.
And attacked something.
Yeah, attacked something. Did at some point I accidentally skip the Mind Shrieker?
I think it goes before me.
It, yeah, it does. So, yeah, that's what I did. Let's see. Well, it missed with both of its attacks on its turn. It's still where it is. Continue. It has 2 attacks, and it rolled a 6 and a 3. Which were technically both lower due to Bane.
Alright, so Huffmir's going to just scramble up the rigging after the creature.
Okay.
Trying to like jump onto its back and stab into it with the sword.
Okay.
We've got a 24 to hit
That definitely hits.
for 4 damage. And then 18 to hit.
Hits. You said 4 damage on that first one?
Yep. For 7 damage on the second one.
Okay.
And then a follow-up unarmed Actually, let's do a flurry of blows. Why not?
Okay.
A flurry of bows.
That's
Yes, we're both in the same place.
Crit.
woo.
Okay. And continuing from Zeitgeist, because I also favor this system. The normal base damage dice will be set at max value, and then roll the dice again for additional value.
Yes.
All right, so that's 11 for the first hit,
Okay.
and then the second flurry of blows is a 21 to hit
Hits.
for 7 more damage.
So that's 18 more damage. So that puts it at, Philip does math. We bump that number to that, and then we add 8, which puts it at that number. Neat. Okay. Now I need the captain to make his, so,
Not figure out where this +2 is coming from.
let's see here.
I tried looking at it too. I can't figure it out either.
Could everyone give me a dexterity saving throw, please?
I can do that.
I have advantage on that.
I got a +6 to do that. 18.
Yeah, barbarians have advantage on dex saving throws.
Oh, cool.
But it has to be an effect from an effect you can see, correct?
Oop, I'm on the wrong character sheet.
Yes.
It's
You are
in this-
blinded, deafened, or incapacitated.
In this instance, you would not have advantage.
I got a 7.
21.
15.
Wolfric, you are caught off guard as suddenly the ship jerks to the port side. The rest of you are either able to get a hand on a railing and catch yourself. You, with both of your hands on this colossal flint like sword, are caught off guard and fall prone.
Okay. As long as I'm not thrown off the ship, I'm good.
You are not thrown off the ship based on the direction the ship lurched.
Good.
Because actually, yeah, you are moved 5 feet in a direction.
If I have to roll up a new character, I'd rather it be after the first session. And then third.
So with though that does put you out of range of the Mind Shrieker, so it's going to turn on Hafir. And does a 20 hit you?
It does.
Finally, I get to roll damage.
Banging?
I did include Bane.
Okay, good.
Yeah, but
And this isn't a ranged attack, right?
this is not a ranged attack. This is it twisting its head and neck back on you and attempting to sink its fangs into you. For 9 points of piercing damage. And then rolling with Bane again. Does a 21 hit.
Does indeed.
For as its tail whips, its barbed tail whips for 12 points of piercing damage.
Oof. All right.
Okay, Bianca Pelé.
It is going to move up the rigging, staying within your reach. Javier, but yeah, it's just moving further up. The stone engineer needs to make. She just passes her wisdom save. Chris, if you could give me another wisdom saving throw. As the little shriek that's behind this thing bellows at you.
16.
You pass. And with that, it is now Rognan's turn. If you could please give me a wisdom saving throw.
Sure. I don't think I'm going to be acting this combat. 4.
Okay.
I have a +0 wisdom saving throw.
As this white, as your vision begins to blur white on the edge, figures and shadows start entering your vision, and you just start swinging your sword. You draw your blades and just begin swinging violently. Wolfric, it is your turn. Could you please give me a...
Big money, big money, big money, big money, big money. 6.
Okay.
23.
Oh.
23.
You are incapacitated by white blurred vision and a piercing migraine.
Cool. I fall out of rage.
You made an attack on your
I
last
made an
turn.
attack on my last turn.
Yeah. So you still have until your next turn to be attacked.
Cool.
Solwyn, it is your turn. If you could please give me a wisdom saving throw.
Philip OP, please nerf.
12.
That passes.
Woo!
It is not a high DC.
Awesome. Is
No,
that
we
the
just keep rolling single digits.
Is that the start of my turn? Or
That
the
is
end of my turn?
that is the start of your turn.
Awesome. Okay. So I will look over to Ragnan, who seems to be having a hell of a time with whatever the fuck just happened to me, and I'll be like, I'll throw. I've got like a ball bearing in my pocket. I'm gonna throw it at his head. And I'm gonna be like, come on, you've got this. And try to inspire him.
Okay, so you're giving him a bardic inspiration die?
Yes.
Okay.
You can do
Inspired!
this.
Okay.
I've seen it.
Okay, that's your bonus action. Would you like to do anything else?
Of course I would. I just want to try and give him something to get over single digits. I will attempt to crossbow bolt the thing again.
Okay, make an attack roll.
Fucking hell. Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
Just, it was a 2. I rolled a 2 on the die. I rolled better last time and I still missed. So
Okay.
no.
Okay, anything else?
Nope.
Okay. Javier?
Hofmir.
Hofmir?
You're
There's an
saying my
M in?
name different every time.
Wait, time out. Is there an M in it?
There is.
Yes.
Philip.
Did I spell it wrong on the overlay?
No.
No, I just spelled it wrong in my notes, apparently.
You spelled my name. There's a C in there that shouldn't be in there.
Well, we'll fix that next time. Sorry, okay.
I wasn't going to shit on you till after the show, but since you brought it up.
I did, in fact, bring it up. It is your turn. Please give me a wisdom saving throw.
I got 19.
You pass. Take your turn as normal.
Man, I'm so glad that wisdom's my focus stat.
Yeah. I mean, I have a 13, so I'm 5% better at it than Rognan.
All right.
Not that it's helping.
All right. So let's I'm gonna like try to do like a kind of like a jump and like bring the sword just like down its back as I come down.
Sure.
First hit is a 23.
That definitely hits.
23. For 5 damage.
Okay.
Second is a critical.
Okay. This monk is on fire.
For 17 damage.
Okay. Wait. Okay. It is looking like it is in agonizing pain. As you create a large gash down its side. above, like down its back from the wing towards the tail.
Cool. So let's finish it off with a kick to the side of the head as I come to a landing on the deck.
Okay.
I got a 25 to hit.
That hits.
9 more damage.
How would you like to do this?
I'm just gonna so coming down, like slashing down its body with the sword. Lift it up for like a slash at the neck, and then just like drive my heel into the head as I like crash down to the deck of the ship.
Okay, so yeah, as you do, the cacophony of noise falls quiet, and then there's just a thud as its corpse falls to the ship. The little one just freaks out and just kind of goes and just starts fucking off. Yeah, I don't get paid enough for this shit. And yeah, you have a large reptilian beast on deck, slain. The cacophony goes, the ship rights itself, and the Reliant is once again a now maybe more tense scene, but at least no longer violent.
Okay, kind of struggling up to his feet. Wolfric's like,
yeah, as this thing
anybody
just...
else gonna help me? Anybody else gonna help me butcher this thing and eat it?
What the fuck was that?
Give me a nature roll.
It's all yours, my friend.
I'm good at that, I think.
Okay, yeah, if you want to try and start butchering this creature,
Nope, I only got a 7.
You start getting into it, and whether it's you're just unfamiliar with its anatomy, it's a thing you've never seen before, maybe it's a underlying resentment towards the creature as it shrieked into your ear, but you either don't seem like it's going to be good meat, or it just seems like it's a garbage animal. Fuck it.
Yeah, it's all too lean or
Yeah.
too, phony.
I'm gonna go over to help Ragnar to his feet.
Okay. Because you just kind of... Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
What the
God.
fuck is that thing?
Big
Okay.
monster that we killed. Don't worry about it.
Solon can give me a nature check if she wants to see if she knows anything about it, or really anyone could.
I don't think she does. Oh, she might. Maybe
Okay.
she's read about it in a book.
Yeah.
Modified 20.
Okay. This is a mind shrieker.
Flying nope.
Yeah, a mind shrieker. It's a type of just flying drake, native to this region. Basically, they're giant flying carnivorous reptiles that have just this some kind of latent, like, psionic ability that just shrieks out into foes, causing paralysis, delirium, odd locomotion, and potential violence in its victims. The little ones were basically young ones, that have latent psychic ability, but don't really come into their own until maturity. They're very, very dangerous.
Could someone pull me a tooth, please?
Yeah, strength check
That's-
to pull out a tooth.
You're good. You just pop it out. A bunch have already been loosened by Hofmir's blows.
There you go.
Thank you.
Hey, you said it right.
I wrote it down right now. It's Hafmir.
Yeah, it's like
Always has been.
it's
Always
like,
has been.
It's like David Hasselhoff on the Mir space station.
Yes, I love it. Okay, but yeah. Yeah, man, I wish I had remembered the mindfuckery earlier. There was a chance for the ship to just start plummeting out of the sky if the engineer was failing her saves.
Cool.
And we all
And
die.
campaign on session 1.
Yeah, right.
It wouldn't have caused you the ship to just immediately crash, but the idea that it starts falling out or moving out from under you, and the idea that you just start like kind of like floating in the air like that one level of gang beasts.
Videos of those assholes that refuse to sit down and put on their seatbelts, so
yeah,
crashing their heads into the roof of the plane.
Kinda,
or
yeah.
An OK Go video where they're on the gravity plane.
Yeah, basically. So, but yeah, honestly, this was a wyvern minus the poisonous tail, and adding on the gibbering creature's terrible mindfuckery.
This thing is part gibbering mouther?
Yeah, basically. That was the effect I borrowed, and yeah, I was pretty proud of this creature.
I liked it.
Yeah, the little buggers were just throwing psychic at you to try and give you disadvantage on attack rolls. But yeah, so yeah, as the ship resumes its course, Captain Harkin just like, wild skies and wild lands, my friends. You did good taking care of that beast. Glad to have you with us. We'd have had and he's like looking for the right phrase. Nasha.
Trouble?
I believe the words he's looking for is a fuck of a time.
Apparently.
I would say it's what I've been doing my whole life, but that thing assaulted my brain, and I really couldn't do anything.
Reminds me of my ex-wife as he starts changing the course of the ship as it slowly moves. Basically,
to go kill his ex-wife.
Yeah, but basically, if you kind of watch, essentially what the helm does, whereas normally on a boat, you know, the helm adjusts the rudder. This it kind of adjusts the movement of sails. Like large lines of chain and rope move off it. There's levers. It's a very complicated helm that the captain is heading.
Those things actually exist on ships too. You can adjust sails left and right.
Yeah, but this is like a central area to do it from, where on other boats, you know, you loose line and other such things.
Yeah, kinda.
Yeah, but yeah, essentially the ship moves, and it very slowly, you can tell you're still ascending. Basically being explained to you, you're adjusting for the altitude to get you basically prepared to enter the city, and as you reach Ozah. So yeah. Otherwise, the ship begins and continues its travels. Is there anything else y'all want to do?
I want to get between that wall and the stairs, like that corner there, and just kind of sit there. Like, I don't think I'm gonna take much more of the ship. I really would like to be standing on something and hope this city isn't the same.
Ragnar's just full on like Colonel Mustard. I can't take any more stress.
Harkin, you just hear Harkin give a hearty laugh to this.
The city is also flying, so it's unknown whether it will.
I'm sure you'll be fine. Trust me, the creature's much, much bigger than anything that you could be thinking.
Wolfric does masculine things.
Just over there lifting weights and eating a steak.
Which are the weights?
Solwyn's gonna make her way over to where Ragnan is.
Mm-hmm. Oh, whoops.
How are you feeling?
You know, if I just intimidate my body, I think I'll be fine. Stay really tense right here.
Yeah, just there
until we stop.
He's just there, head between his knees.
Can I try to make him some sort of
tonic
medicine? Sort of.
Yeah,
I got an herbalism kit.
Yeah, sure. Give me a medicine roll with a medicine roll with proficiency.
Cool.
If you're proficient with the herbalism kit.
So that's a 13.
Yeah, you're able to put together a tonic. It's kind of a very light ginger tea water.
Hey, ginger ale. Got it.
Yeah, it's uncarbonated ginger ale.
Why don't you have a sip of this? I might help you a bit.
Oh, I wish you had mentioned this sooner.
I was not certain what was causing your discomfort.
Yeah, well, it's something you try to keep to yourself.
Yep.
You know. Keep it inside, otherwise it inconveniences other people.
Okay, so yeah, after there's a couple more hours of travel, you are in early morning, and as you shift into late afternoon, the crew takes meals, showing off kind of the rest of the boat. You have like a galley area, some cots and beds in motion. Yeah, more boats! As this might be the last chance I have to show it off.
Yay, boat!
Yeah, you have plenty of area within the ship. The Harkin's quarters are down here, but otherwise y'all have just been kind of given some rooms and storage space in some of the storage space, cots set up. Food is had. It's very, very simple food for long journeys. Hardtack biscuits, dried vegetables, and dry meat. Lots of potatoes. An onion involved. And something that y'all were bound to notice over this journey, the stone engineer doesn't sleep.
Metal.
That makes sense.
How does she do that?
Drugs.
Meth.
Methamphetamine.
Kinda. Cause it's to move the stone, you must attune to the stone and to actively control the stone, which doesn't work when you're unconscious or asleep. So yeah, basically, stone engineers take drugs that allow them to go without sleep for a number of days, depending on their own personal mental capacities, which allows the ship to stay aloft and not crash.
That Nazi meth chocolate.
Yeah, basically, yeah. No, it is, I like that. It is now either, depending on the region, in chocolate or some other form. But yeah, Nazi meth chocolate.
I love history.
Jawohl.
So yeah. And you can definitely, maybe get a feel that you can definitely tell that such a thing still can kind of take a toll, or maybe Nasha's just kind of naturally, what's the word I'm looking for? No nonsense, very deadpan. You're not sure. She was definitely like that when you started the journey. But yeah, and soon, the ship finds its way, and as presuming also that Solwyn moves back to the front of the boat for her dedicated sentry, then she is in fact the first, as the ship breaks through a bank of cloud as it moves higher and higher. It finally comes into view. The silhouette of a titanic creature, reminiscent of something akin to a sea turtle, swimming through the air. It is enormous, as an entire skyline of buildings can barely be made out, almost like ridges on the back of its shell, of buildings and towers. And also, maybe something you just hadn't even considered or not even thought of, but there is in fact a second skyline on the creature, inverted and descending from its underbelly, like stalactites. And you can see the flickering lights coming from off of the city like stars. And as the full of the ship breaks through the clouds, you can hear Harkin bellow across the ship. "Behold, friends, Ozah, Leviathan of the North."
Mm-hmm.
And as you get closer and closer, exactly, yeah, the full scope of the creature in scale really starts to become apparent. This creature must be at least 2 miles long, and and possibly 1.5 miles wide.
I'm gonna kill it.
And as you get closer and closer, you get to a part of the beast which is hulking with giant, large, leathery, scaled skin, and you come into what looks like a very unusual harbor, almost like someone built docks out of a scaled cliffside, is what this looks like. As a planking and boarding, riggings, and frame are just built onto the side of this creature. As the ship sets down into strange docks, it's almost like a carriage or like a shipyard. How ships will be raised up to be built and worked on. The Reliant just sets down in this docks, built near the left shoulder of the creature. And as you kind of come into port, you can see the dock is full of Afari from all that look like they're from all over the continent. People of different.
Can we get a definition of Afari for viewers?
Oh, sure. Afari is the kind of catch-all name for the mortal races of this world. They are the first mortals made by the gods who, for various reasons, myth and legends, diverged into essentially different races, such as the Andai of Sam's character, or the Sunborn of Catherine's character, the Baronir of James, or the mysterious kin that Chris is playing.
I'm not Afari.
You are correct. He is Vryn, a separate race. That the best kind of parallel would be almost like an Aasimar. If Aasimar took on a strange variance of a different race that are usually different in shape and color palette, and have their own mysterious origins. Yeah.
I'm special.
You're all special. So you see many different people, dockhands, merchants, and such, loading and unloading cargo of ships, and captains speaking with officials, and a portmaster overseeing it all. And as you begin to gather your things, a plank is set out to allow any entry or exiting of the ship, at which point y'all are kind of free to go as you do. The crew have moved under, and they seem to be moving and doing with cargo. And Captain Harkin, as he kind of steps near the off plank, well, it was good to have all of you on the ship. Probably may not have made it, in fact, if it weren't for you. So you have my thanks and best regards. I have a portmaster to speak with, fees to pay, and a cargo to check in and file for, taxes and all such manner of things as you do at a port when you're a merchant ship. And
bow to him. The pleasure is all ours.
Wolfric kind of gives him an Andi salute, which, since I'm not creative right now, is just kind of the classic Klingon. Just
yeah. He replies in turn, though maybe not quite as stoic. In return.
I'm sure we'll be seeing you again. I mean, we definitely need a way off this place eventually.
Well, if you do, you'll be able to find me at. Oh no, notes. Where'd they go? I want to say the black tankard. Let's see how right I am at remembering things I wrote at 9 a.m. this morning. I believe in me.
I mean,
It is now.
it wasn't. It is now.
No, because I'm not. I refuse to click it and hit the backspace and type something new. I was right. The black tankard.
Good.
Headed? Or that's where he is.
That is where he is headed. If in reply to saying that if you want to hire a ship, he will be here for the next few days. Nasha's gonna have to be in for a bit before she's ready for another voyage.
Right.
Her name is Nasha.
Nasha, Nasya.
Nausea.
Nasha.
I know.
Wolford kind of hefts up his gear. Well, let's get going.
Okay.
Thank you for the ride, Captain.
He to you, he takes off his tri-corner hat and feather and does a very dramatic bow. Always a pleasure to have a beautiful and radiant lass. He gives a wink. He has been hamming it up the entire voyage.
Yeah. And Solon's been eating it up because she is not from these parts.
No, though I will say that Captain Harkin's accent has been maybe a familiar one, being coming from actually a very similar region from yours, actually. So it was a nice little reminder of home.
So, where are we going?
Guess we ask around for House Mir.
Yeah.
What'd you say? Oh, sorry, Housemere.
Shit.
Or rather, Solwyn does, since she talks to people, and I just kill things that get in
What?
the way of talking to people.
I suppose so.
Looks at charisma scores across the board.
Oh.
Yeah, I recently changed mine.
Okay. So you start making your way through the harbor. So y'all are y'all just trying to find someone who can give you directions or some such?
That was
Yeah.
my plan.
Yeah.
Okay.
Housemere is keeping half an eye on the group and
Mm-hmm.
3/4 of his eyes on just the people around him, just kind of gawking
Mm-hmm.
at
Yeah.
people going about their normal business on this strange place.
Mm-hmm.
Solon's looking for someone to give her directions, but I don't know if she can focus.
Okay. Yeah.
How
God,
That's
is
fair.
footing, by the
Wolfric
way?
leading through the crowd.
It is surprisingly steady. So you're fine. There is definitely a headwind. Just a constant breeze through the area, and it is very cold. We're talking just above freezing.
Glad I got my nice jacket.
Yeah, it is probably something close to 36 degrees. With a very a constant wind, always from the same direction.
I'm gonna address are there I can't think of the right word, but the
A
criers?
port official.
Oh, yeah, I guess.
Y'all are on a dock right now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll just go to a dock official then.
Okay. Give me a quick perception check.
Perception, okay. That would be a 19.
Okay, yeah, actually. So looking over and scanning the area as y'all have been talking and moving down the off plank onto the port, you see what looks like a a very well like cleanly dressed individual. He seems to have like a clipboard and quill and is kind of surveying the dockyard as someone who looks like they're in a position of management, of just maybe 50 feet or so away across the harbor towards the wall cliffside of this beast.
We're looking for House Hofmir. House
What?
Mir. Oh my god. We're looking for House Mir. Where is
Mir.
Say my name. Sorry.
House Mir.
Half off mirrors.
He gives you and the other three around you like a look over, a quizzical brow. Well, the Mirror Estate is on his top side. Do you have papers?
Yes. Hofmir. Papers.
He's just kind of looking over the four of you, waiting. This is a
pull out my backpack and start just like pouring through it. I don't think I have any papers.
Who had the papers?
I might have
Solwyn?
them.
Did I have them?
Hang on. I open up my bag and I reach in, and my arm goes further than it probably should.
yeah. You're just Mary Popping, zing it.
And I pull out a set of papers. I found them.
Ah, yes, thank you.
I forgot.
So this individual, very well dressed, takes it, uncrumples them a little bit. Yes. Okay, yes, everything is in order. He, folds it over neat, kind of smooths it out in his hand for a very, crisp, even quarter fold, hands it, back to you. So yes, if you head that way, 3 dockyards up, you'll find the lift that will take you to the upper city.
All right.
Just that way, and the I'm sorry, yeah, actually, before giving it back, like it's quarter folded, he does a quick like scribble on the outside with his quill and hands it back. Hand this to the lift engineer, and you should be able to head where you're going. As for House Mir, I believe that's near the head of the city, so you're not too far off. You'll just want to when you get up from the lift, take a left main thoroughfare, and you should be able to find it pretty quickly. It's a very large and extravagant property.
When you say the head of the city, do you mean the head?
Yes, the head of Ozah. You'll be wanting this is the gesturing like to again this wall that looks like it's tiled with giant scales, each 10 feet wide, up and over to the other shoulder.
Okay. All right.
I like this place.
This place doesn't like move suddenly, does it?
Does it flip over?
No, Ozah's more considerate than that. The beast is very gentle and aware. You should be fine.
Unlike Lemmy, who apparently has the 9 o'clock zoomies.
So the beast's name is Ozah.
Yes. Yes. It is Ozah, and this place is Ozah.
How long have you people been up here?
Oh, the city's existed for centuries.
Respect the crazy bastards that started this.
I wouldn't be able to tell you much more. I just work here. The monks at the head maintain the history and the rights.
I can make a guess. Maybe this thing was on the ground at some point, and someone got on it, made a little home, and then it flew away. And that was the start of the civilization.
Is the head where the silver tower is?
He gives you a quick look. No. The you would find why are they so far away? Why are my notes always so far away? The city is, as I recall, on the rear starboard of the creature. You think it would be easier to find a big giant drawing of a turtle in a notebook, but here we are. But yes, it is near. It is near the rear side. So it's honestly from like where you are. It is the opposite side. If y'all are on the left shoulder, it's by like the right thigh.
Cool.
And again, like think giant sea turtle. So like just to, I guess, looking at the creature to the right is a giant, just like, fuck off, like, fin.
About what speed does, oh god, I lost the name, Ozah?
Ozah.
Ozah. About what speed does Ozah travel at?
Pretty, it's kind of hard to tell. It's, I mean, slow enough that ships are able to move up to it, so pretty slowly. I'd say maybe,
17 knots.
Sure. I don't know what that is, but sure.
I don't either.
Yeah. But pretty slowly, but like enough to like create a draft of wind as it's constantly moving.
That's about 20 miles an hour.
Then yeah, probably about 20 miles an hour, because it's thus generating that much wind.
I learned that from Kids Next Door, and that's nautical miles, which I'm fairly certain are slightly larger than regular miles.
I think they are. The thing I learned from Kids Next Door is that 30 C is approximately 87 degrees Fahrenheit.
And negative 40 is the same in Celsius and Fahrenheit.
Really?
Yeah.
Yep.
Because it just means fuck you, it's cold.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Yep. That's a very important number. Okay, but yeah, that's things we learned from our childhood.
I just remember learning that because they're both on the same spot on it. Like,
oh yeah, like at the bottom of the thing. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I never looked at that.
I only know that from online chats with people who don't live in America.
I thought that was the temperature in Escanaba in July.
So anyway, you have been given some directions. I can't believe, did I tear it out? Should just be here. But yeah, the tower is towards the rear of the creature.
Cool.
Oh, found it. Yes, the tower, Bandolier.
Bandolier.
Yeah,
Bandolier.
BANDHELIR. Bandolier. One of the 9 temples to your god. Like, or rather, giant fuck-off holy sites of your god.
Yeah.
One of 9 meccas.
I'm guessing I've probably been to the other 5 in this region.
That's definitely a potentiality. You have been alive long enough, and they are within a close enough proximity to the region. There's no reason you haven't been to those, which would mean that this would be the 6th, and there are 3 others that you wouldn't have been to. You can give me a religion check with advantage if there's anything particular you want to know about it.
Nothing I can think of at the moment.
Okay.
Unless there's just general information to know about it.
Yeah, but nothing that you wouldn't already know, which is to say the Silver Towers are one of 9 holy sites created centuries ago. At this point, arguably close to a millennia ago. That were holy divine refuges created by Seer, the god of fire and protection, to aid the Afari during a time of great calamity when everything was going to hell in a hamster ball.
That's right, Noah. He made 9 arcs.
Yeah, he made 9. And they are started as, refugee camps that slowly became towns and cities with these enormous metal towers at their center.
Cool. Well, should we start with the heads then?
Sounds about right.
Yeah. Real quick though, Catherine has a question.
Sure.
After that fight, we were on our airship for more than an hour.
Correct. A short rest would definitely be would have been available to all of you.
So I would actually like to use my final bardic inspiration before my short rest to put a story in my head.
Okay, roll a d8 and let me grab all of this. Hit me.
Shit. 6.
6. Okay, which category is 6?
Let me double check.
Wait, are my keys recovered?
Why is it not listed right there where I want it to be listed?
Let's see.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Forgot I get my key back on a short rest.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, it is. That should be dumb.
Reset maximum HP changes during this rest.
6 is hero.
Like if something reduced your maximum hit points, this would fix it.
Okay. Let's see here. Hero.
Oh, but it doesn't automatically do this.
Get into your shit, hero.
Yes. So on, as you were, so this would have been at the end of the short rest on the boat?
Yeah. Well, no. This would have been before I short rested so that I get all my bardic inspiration back.
Gotcha. Okay.
I had one left at the end of the fight. I used it to sit down and think about a story.
Yeah. Do you just think about these, or do you also write them down?
Sullivan would be writing them down.
Okay. So
Collecting whatever she's coming up with.
Okay.
Because she all pretty sure it comes from the narrator, and if no one else has it written down, she should have it written down.
Okay, so yeah, as you were sitting and musing on the Reliance, almost seemingly from nowhere, a string of words begin to enter your mind. It is a fool that mistakes a princess for a weakling. For she carries the tower in her heart, and upon that chthonic root, dark and terrible edifices may grow.
Chthonic?
It might be pronounced chthonic, but there's a CH at the beginning. Chthonic root.
CTHONIC?
Yeah.
Chthonic.
Yeah. I'll chuck that into Discord at you.
Awesome.
Oh, I saw that come up the other day in
Hey, Philip, you
Did the thing? Don't worry about it.
We became words.
Don't worry about it.
Weren't we always words, James?
Yeah.
I
All
saw
these
that
words.
come up the other day when I was playing Hades and didn't really think much of it, but
It basically means ancient, mysterious, almost akin to eldritch.
oh, well, according to Google, it says concerning belonging to or inhabiting the underworld.
Eldritch.
Cool.
Because it has the same thing as Cthulhu, so it's Eldritch. Yeah. At least that's where my mind always goes. So yeah, anyway.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Any excuse to read out all the crap I've accumulated for this homebrew. Anyway, so yeah, y'all have are given directions. You have a direction of some points where you might want to go. I believe y'all said where y'all wanted to head. What was it? I couldn't hear it over the thick. Okay.
Head.
Head to the head.
Okay.
House mirror.
Okay, towards House Mirror or to the head?
Well,
Speaking of the head, that's
House
where I
mirror
have
was
to go real
headward.
quick.
It's
I thought they were both same.
So right now y'all are on the left shoulder. House
We're heading
Mirror.
toward-
Yeah, House Mirror is on the right shoulder, and the temple of the priests of the creature are on the head.
Yeah, we're not going to the head. He just told us to go headward and then to the other shoulder.
Okay. Sorry, I wanted to be clear so I didn't just start describing something that y'all weren't going to. So, as you cross the port following the portmaster's instructions, you head up, passing dockhands and sailors, heading down planked pathways, up some stairs towards what seems to be basically a a weighted lift, like an elevator. Something akin to like a wooden frame, a box, rope and chains, levers, and pulley systems. The gentleman asks for your papers. You are very easily enough able to show what the man you had seen wrote on it, which was just like a signature and a quick initial and dating. The man says, "Yep, all in order," hands it back to you, and gestures for you to come into the lift.
Thank you.
And which you can see is like one of multiple, and this is like a smaller like personnel one. There are larger ones that seem to take cargo, giant crates and barrels. Even in some cases, you actually see like 5 sheep in one as they just pass you coming down. And as you just slowly move upward. Which brings you to the top into of the lift, where you see what is just like, it's very strange, because it now, what lies before you almost just looks like a normal city and township, except like there's dirt, there's grass, there is greenery, as much as you would have, you know, in a city, across this creature, as like it arcs up on a hill. And there are buildings of wood and stone. It's very surreal. You like look over your shoulder to remind yourself that you are thousands of feet in the air.
Cool.
And you just see people going about their day in this mid-afternoon. You see bakeries, you see homesteads, you see people running errands. You can just kind of hear the general noise of a town, slightly muted by the wind as it blows tailward.
This sort of situation just gets me thinking about that whole Call to the Void thing. You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-mm.
It's that weird voice in the back of your head that's totally irrational, that's like, you should just jump off this bridge.
Oh, okay, yes. Yeah, now I know what you mean.
Overboard.
What would happen if you just careened off the road towards that light
happened if you just
post?
drove into traffic.
Yeah.
Right, so that's called Call to the Void.
Interesting. Yes. You definitely that is something Ragnan like just like for a split second in the back of his head's like, you could just jump. And you
We all missed our chance to be like, James, what are you talking about?
yeah, and just imagine what it would be to plummet, and how long would you free fall? before becoming a stain on the dunes.
Well, if you rage right before he hits.
So it's a cap of 20d6 because that's terminal velocity, and then cut that in half. Like, I'd probably live.
Yeah, there's a decent chance he'll survive.
No, you wouldn't. Anyway, yeah, y'all are able to just start
0%.
making your way into the city of Ozah. So are y'all just kind of beelining, heading to a place, maybe asking for the occasional direction as you go? Or is there anything that maybe you're looking for that would catch your eye and make you pause?
What's kind of the racial makeup of Ozah?
Sure thing. I have that at hand. So Ozah is actually incredibly cosmopolitan compared to maybe other regions of the world you've been to. Getting the dock even more so, as it's a mix of people coming and going, unloading and bringing on cargo. As you begin walking the streets, you get a sense that the majority of the population seems to be Norfolk, which are the aquatic, almost like a merfolk of this world. They have scaled skin, no hair, but have like accent thinning of colors and such. You see what mostly make up the Shikaran, which are the river people. Imagine like your average kind of like river fish color, trout, brim, bass. That's think of those kind of colorations of skin and scales and accents. It's actually the race that Nasha, your stone engineer, was. But as you start walking the streets, you start seeing a lot of that, and you also start seeing a lot of Yondir. Yondir are an average height people, along with Norfolk, average being like 5'5". Yondir are people with very dark, like pitch black, dark charcoal skin. Their hair is either jet black or a very pale white, which is very uncommon but occasional. And they have probably their most notable feature are horns that come from the back of the skull and curve towards the front.
We've all got horns.
The horns are like almost like a shimmering pearl.
It's a very horny world.
It is a very horny world. It was designed by horny people. I would like to note that none of the peoples I made have horns, unless they are made after people that have horns. But that's neither here nor there.
Nice saving throw there, Philip.
Yeah,
wait, Philip, my person was made by you, and I have horns.
No more questions. The other very notable feature of Yondir is that they have like white markings on their skin, like very patterned, usually in crescent shapes. That mark their forearms, their face, and other regions of the body. So you would say that those two peoples make up the majority. Otherwise, it's a free-for-all. Like, those two, the Norfolk and the Yondir, are like half the population. Everything else, it's a coin toss. It is. And there isn't even necessarily a unified style of clothing like you would normally think a region to have. It is very mixed match. You can see styles of the southern coasts, the east, the desert below you. You even definitely see a number of people that have the very neutral tones with fur and quilted jackets of the east, where some of you are from. It's a very much a mixing pot. I would say the style of building is very reminiscent of like feudal Japan, right? It's got those what's the word?
Pagodas?
Yeah, like pagoda roofing. Is a very common style amongst most of the architecture. with like the tiled roofs, the tiered systems and buildings. But even then, you can definitely tell as you move, there seems to be kind of like almost like districts of building style. But that one seems to pervade all of it. The streets have lanterns that go throughout, illuminating the place. You definitely get a sense that they seem to be magical lighting, not a flickering flame, but just like a very soft light. Presumably because lighting and candles on a very high altitude, windswept area is a pain.
Yeah, let's imagine that.
Though you do see that out of many of the buildings, you do see plumes of smoke out of every place, as again, it is very, very chilled. And you almost for a moment wonder what they, like how much wood this place must have to import to,
That's a good point.
to warm their building, to warm this things, which also must make you think how well off one might have to be to live.
Yeah, it's like we haven't seen, like, it's all city as far as we've seen.
Up here, it seems to all be city, and the stretch of road that you're following all seems to be very kind of dense building.
Have there been any gardens?
There are definitely definitely gardens, very well groomed areas. But usually, like, a spot of shrubbery or trees, like a tree, in like the front yard that presumably, grows something like a fig or an apple or something that would do well in this high altitude, chilled environment. So honestly, probably nut trees.
And the ground, is it like scale or is it?
It is packed dirt. The roads are packed dirt.
Okay.
Again, it's very rare. Like I don't know necessarily what your characters were expecting up here, but it's eerily and surreally normal. Because at the back of your head, you're just constantly thinking, looking around. It's like, this is all up on top of a giant flying creature, thousands of miles above a desert.
Hoffmir was definitely expecting like the roads to just be like scale, like, or the back of a creature.
Yeah.
Rognan does not have that big of imagination. He's like, take a city, put it in the sky.
Just boop. So yeah.
Then what do these papers actually say?
I think they just grant us an audience at Housemere. I'm not exactly sure. I haven't read them.
Are normal people not allowed to wander about freely on this part of the creature, or?
You are asking the wrong person, Havmir. I left home like 6 months ago and met you guys like 3 months ago. So what you and I have seen together is basically what I've seen of this world.
In my experience, people that
Rhetorical question, sorry.
my experience, there's places that don't like people such as myself or Rognan to be around.
I am a perfectly civilized person. Thank you.
He looks like from you to another like Agni or Andai person like passing by him.
Yeah, who's just wearing like normal township like clothes, a heavy coat, but like well tailored, not made from leathered hide of a creature. Yeah, there is. You definitely can tell walking through. You can definitely feel the wealth gap. Of your normal passerby. Which isn't to say though that there aren't definitely some people that are in a way similar to you in that they have a very tourist look.
Yeah.
And long sleeve, like, flower print shirts.
Socks with sandals.
Exactly. Yeah.
Do you speak
Sunglasses.
common?
But as for what the sheet of paper says, you have one that's just kind of like I'm trying to think of how to put this, like a declaration of intent for why you are here and who is saying that you're like, hey, these people are here to do X, I'm Y, they're GTG.
Yeah. The thing Hoffmir is more wondering is like what, like, obviously he's not going to get an answer here from us.
Sure.
It's just like what sets us apart from all these other people that are wandering around here, and does everybody have to carry papers all around all the time, and like, you know, stuff like that.
Right.
Are passports or like is a passport kind of a thing? Because these are totally separate nations. That's kind of what I'm imagining.
Kind of. It's similar. It's similar to like a border check, right? Like the idea of they don't want just unknowingly letting people in. Like the idea is, okay, this guy has gone over. Okay, this guy has seen your declared names, who sent you, and declared purpose, which means that if for some reason y'all burn down a tavern and get caught, they can say, oh, this is who they supposedly are, this is supposedly their intended purpose.
Notice I said get caught.
Yeah. These
defined limited space up here.
Sure.
Yeah. And the idea of, the idea of tariffs, of if y'all are caught selling something that y'all weren't written to sell and didn't pay to sell here, you get in trouble. Right? So it was very much of that. As to what you're doing here, you're here to answer a call from House Mir, and you have a sealed letter of reply from your patron, Kalen, of Lord of Alsvin, which is where you set out from.
Cool. Well, let's get there.
Okay. Yeah. So you travel across the thing. So what starts as an up, you can definitely feel is a slightly inclined journey as you crest over the arched shoulders of the back of this creature. And as you do, you can kind of get a better vantage point. And what would be to your left is the massive head of this creature, and you can barely make out what looks like a suspension bridge that like goes from a part of its shoulders and just goes to a point of its head where there is you can see what looks like a very large building perched there, like a monastery. Otherwise, you just kind of see businesses, homesteads, and taverns and such, and then you can definitely tell that your journey begins taking you southward. You know what? This is something I haven't gotten. What is everyone's passive perception?
13.
16.
Okay. Sorry, real quick. Wolfric?
Passive perception 14.
Okay. Ragnan?
13.
Hoffmir?
17.
And Solwyn?
16.
Okay. Then it definitely makes sense that Hoffmir and Solwyn, y'all are the first to notice. What you're definitely guessing is the place that you're supposed to be, based on the short description you got from the portmaster. And you can see that whereas most of the way you've been traveling has been kind of dense building with small gardens and such, what seems like to be a sprawled out estate, regal and immaculate. A stone wall seems to go along its perimeter, and what you can just see what looks like a park of a garden full of flowers and trees, and as you get close enough, you can even see bits of topiary and what you guess is marble sculpture from afar, and you can tell that this is a really large thing. The portmaster said it was a really large, fancy place. This is definitely by far the largest and fanciest place that you've seen. And in the middle of it, you can, as you're coming down the roadway towards it, what looks to be a building, a very large building in the middle of it all.
This must be the place.
Looks like it.
Yeah. So yeah, as you begin heading that way, you can start to get like a feel of now a stretch of area where the cityscape kind of ends, and it slowly transitions to this almost what seems like its own district, small district nestled in on the outer edge of the creature, and as you follow the road up to it, you can see what looks like a barred gate into the property, and
Sorry.
Are you a gate?
I could be.
Not until
You can be part of a gate.
I was about to say not until 17th level.
I was gonna say, can you cast gate?
Not until 17th level. Anyway,
Okay.
you see standing as stoic sentinels outside this gate, which is maybe 10 feet wide, 20 feet tall, matching the stone walls around this area. The gate itself, just like bent iron gate, very nice, lots of curves and filigree to it that, beyond just your standard vertical bars, are two sentinel guards that are wearing beautiful bronze chest plates. Think like your stereotypical Greco-Roman breastplate with where it has the abs molded and shaped into it.
Yeah.
Imagine that, a white sash across the front, a matching bronze codpiece belt, and then a very short cloth skirt is what you see. And these individuals are tall. One is a yonder, and the other a sunborn, and they are just tall, statuesque, like Herculean Adonis in form. They are immaculate in their
Wolfric's
physique.
6'6". How tall are these guys?
I'm sorry, how tall did you say Wolfric is?
Probably 6'6". He's big.
That's actually a little short for an Andi. I would imagine you closer to 7'6".
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, but these, and
I
whereas,
read the background.
yep, I believe you. You just got one number off. It's fine. Off by a foot. These individuals however, are probably 6'6". So for their particular people, they are quite tall, and they are just there with each a spear.
Yeah.
Um,
Sunborn and I'm 5.5 feet.
yeah. Long, each of them, long flowing hair that's tied back with a band that flows down, to their mid back. You have never seen such beautiful sentries. And they stand there almost like statues decorating the entrance.
I pull out the paperwork and go, am I supposed to give this to you?
They, as you approach, they stand unmoving until you address them, and whichever one you walked up to just kind of turns.
Sunborn.
Yeah, the Sunborn. As you get closer, you can now tell a woman just turns down.
Ooh, that'd be real big for a Sunborn.
Yes, takes it. What were you handing her? The letter.
Yeah.
Takes a look at the letter. Gives it
for her OnlyFans.
takes a look at the front, seeing who it is addressed to and from. Takes a look, moves it closer to her eyes, inspecting the wax seal, sealing it. She looks to her fellow guardsmen, gives a nod, and the two move and undo the gate. They both, perfectly synchronized, push the gate inward until it is fully open, and then they both very, just gesture with their arms for you to enter. Otherwise, aside from the sound of the gate opening, they are both completely silent. And the letter was handed back to you.
Thank you.
Wolfric walks through.
I follow.
Okay.
Yep.
Follow.
Okay. So yeah, as you move in, your vantage point from the high path you took is confirmed. This place is a beautifully manicured garden. Flowers and trees and topiary. Beautiful, tall, very Greco-Roman, that very style of statues line the main pathway with small offshoots of paths going out. Figures, again, think you're very prototypical, Roman statue, beautiful, mostly nude figures in various poses of either athleticism or drama or even violence. Line the walkways of all manner of different peoples of Afari, with the main common thread being of all just immaculate beauty. You can hear the faint sound of running water from off of somewhere, heard but unseen. And then as you travel maybe 5 or so minutes in, you hear a sudden crack. The sound of bamboo echoing off a stone.
I know that anywhere. It's bamboo echoing off a stone.
Think a deer scare. Right?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Nothing to be rolling initiative over.
I thought you meant someone training.
No.
That's what I was thinking too.
No. You hear it. It's once. It's sudden, but then again, another 5 minutes pass, and you hear it again. Just that crack and that echoing noise.
Actually, I think it's a rock hitting a.
Order attack! Roll initiative!
Volcanic or igneous?
I don't know. Give me a perception check.
Let's see. A perception check?
Mm-hmm.
I got it.
15.
24.
All of you are unsure except for Hofmir, who is guessing that it's igneous. So yeah, as you move through this
Hofmir keeps this to himself.
Yeah, this garden, and as the trees of this garden open up to a beautiful chateau.
Wait, are we on the hot tub episode already?
That's up to y'all. It depends on the decisions you make. So yeah, and so yeah, you exit this garden that's wrapping around this building. You move through what is a much smaller gate, just a nice garden fencing that kind of separates the main core of the property from this beautiful garden. It's a large stone brick building of like a soft pink hue of brickwork. Tall, intricate metal latticed windows like rise like almost like a French sun window that that goes like from very low to very high with that kind of arc in at the top, and is also lots of columns and like stone filigree make up this beautiful building. And you can see like up like a series of like a semicircled steps, the main entrance, where you can see there seems to basically be I'm trying to think of an employee, a servant, someone who is there to greet you at the door, dressed in very fine clothes, and also very similar to the guards in that they are wearing a short, like white waistcloth, a cloth across the front, sans any of the bronze armor. And they themselves, while not so hugely statuesque, is a very attractive individual. A young sunborn male.
I hold up the paper. Am I supposed to give this to you next?
No need. You wouldn't have made it onto the property if the guards hadn't seen it first. Please, welcome to House Mir. As they pull the door open and just kind of gesture for you all to come in.
At least this one talks.
Yeah. Well, we don't deny hospitality now, do we? So
I
I'll
mean,
just
this
head
is
in.
why we're here.
Yeah. Yes. And so yeah, as you're gestured and moved inside, they just kind of and as you enter and they kind of move in with you into this beautiful foyer. The inside immediately you're unsurprised but still struck by the beauty of the inside. It's all very fine artwork, ornate furnishings. The rooms and hallways are very tall with rounded ceilings. And as you're brought in, the person that greets you, I take it you were here to see the lady?
Yep.
Yes, so.
Wonderful. Please follow me. And yeah, you're led through the estate, navigating almost what feels like a labyrinth of tall, wide corridors. Every once in a while, you pass a closed door that seems to just seems to go into rooms. You see other branches of corridors that move through the place until you are led to what can only be called a throne room. The room itself is pentagonal. You coming in at if you have the bottom of the pentagon, pentagon, you're coming at the southern face with the top point ahead of you. It's a very large open space with walls that go up about 20 feet before curving to a dome, and it's very well lit with sconces and candlelight, including a chandelier that hangs from the middle, illuminating the space. The walls are all giant murals that cover a face going up to the ceiling, and each one depicting slightly different, though no less beautiful paintings. Anyone can give me a history check if they wish to recognize maybe anything in this room.
No, that ain't me.
15.
Yeah, that ain't me either.
Okay.
I got a 7.
Okay. So while the three boys look around and are like, "Yep, that's art."
I got a 0, by the way.
Don't even. Yeah.
Oh, give me more credit than that.
You take it in, Havmir, and while you maybe recognize some of the figures, you definitely see what near the top of one, like the wall going up into a curve, so it kind of all meets. In one of the sections, you definitely recognize depictions of certain gods that you recognize. Right off the bat, you recognize Seer in their fully armored visage, portrayed as they often are, much smaller than other gods. You immediately recognize Cosme, the goddess of the sun, wreathed in a halo of flames and other such common representations of divine figures, but you're not entirely sure of the context of maybe like the narrative of each mural.
Sure.
Solon, on the other hand, does pick up on the context. You realize that each wall is representative of a different age of the world. The 5 ages that are commonly used to refer to moments of history. One wall, the Age of Dawn, the age in which the gods made the mortals and filled the world with creation. The Age of Storms, the age where great kingdoms rose, but were cut short and destroyed by the calamities that punctuated that era. You see a wall that is filled with dark, horrifying shapes and very brutal violence being done. Savagery of the Lost Age. The age where history and many things were lost and monsters ravaged the world. You see the Age of Ruin, when civilization crawled out of these shadows and great empires were born. And then finally, you see a wall that is the Age of Stars. An age yet to be seen, though portents of what is to come is whispered through the aether. It's a very swirling, surreal, almost abstract in a lot of its things. And many of its figures and shapes are strange.
Mm-hmm.
Across the room as you enter is a slightly raised platform, and on it a large plush armchair. But it's very exaggerated in its features and very ornate. It's almost like a strange hybrid between like a throne and a fainting couch.
I dig it.
That sits under what is a small, canvas, tiny pavilion almost, with gold, gilded supports. Everything in this place is just ornate. You would almost say gaudy if it didn't somehow all come together so perfectly. And then lounging comfortably in this throne is the mistress of the estate, who you can only assume is Lady Mir. The young man who escorted you announces to the room, and his voice echoes off the wall. "Visitors, you bear witness to the Lady Mir," and he just kind of bows and gestures you as you enter the room. And as you come in, you see a woman who was lounged in this throne, and her relaxed, curved posture in the chair kind of fooled your eyes as they stand to their full height. And as she stands, she seems to stretch to the height that's actually close to yours, Wulfric.
Okay.
Silken fabric slinks across her flawless pale skin, and she's wearing a flowing gown styled almost like as a robe that wraps around her statuesque frame. It has a floral pattern to it. It has a very rich, like pinkish peach color. I'm hoping that picture is coming across to you all as I share it. And all of it is accented with threads of gold, and you can hear the light noise of fine chain and jewelry. Her crimson hair is done up with golden pins into an enormous pompadour that sticks out a solid 8 inches from her, from the top of her head. An ornament with large rubies run through it, like almost like it's gauged.
Mm-hmm.
She has piercing gold eyes with irises that are like pearl, like that are a pearl white, and you see no pupils within, looking down at you, that have a narrow shape that would almost be uncomfortable if not for the soft, seducing smile. Welcome. Oh, please do come in. As she begins moving towards you, sauntering down the first few steps, her long gown trailing behind her. You all look like you've traveled very far. Is there anything I can get you? Please, do let me know. I would just die if I were to be an ingracious host. Her voice is enrapturing. And you find yourself where maybe you were looking at the beautiful murals around you. You find your eyes drawn to this figure and almost unable to leave.
Wisdom saving throw.
I roll to resist her seduction.
I will say, to give you context, this figure looks unlike any Afari you've ever seen before. The closest approximation would maybe be one of the Tima Ana, which are a very pale-skinned people, but the proportions are way off. The ears aren't right. The hair, being a bright crimson, is completely wrong, and so are the eyes and other features.
Could she be Bren?
No.
Okay.
Though that is one of the first places your mind went, but you then quickly discarded it because there's just something preventing you, or that stops you from immediately creating an associated kinship with this person.
My lady is most gracious.
She like moves her head to the side, puts her finger on her face, like almost like a feigned blush, like you told her the most beautiful of compliments, or were quite the flirt. All of her movements and mannerisms are very almost dramatic, almost like putting on an act, except that it's just so smooth and graceful.
So she's a good actor.
If this is acting, it's the best you've ever seen. Well, please, do come in. And she gestures her hands, and as she does, sides of the walls open, almost like hidden doorways. And as they do, more of these sentineled guards that you saw at the entrance come in, of different Afari races, though all, again, similar in physique and stature. But none of them are wielding weapons, and they all just, bring in furniture. And as she very slowly begins continuing towards you, comes to, the center of the room, and, almost like it was perfectly choreographed, a chair just as it is placed in position. It's a very like low cushioned seat, a low table put in front of her that already has platters of drink and food, fresh fruit and pastries, goblets of wine, a large loaf of black bread, as is the custom, in the middle, and cushions sat down around it. 4 ready for you.
I don't even hesitate. I sit down.
Wolfric
Me
will sit
too.
down.
And
So-
I start drinking wine and like tasting anything on the table, but trying not to be.
Oh,
This is the fanciest shit I've ever seen.
This
and I
is
must
by
try it.
far the fanciest spread you've ever seen.
Wolfric has no couth and just dives right.
Yeah.
So
Like
when-
he's just like Goku omnoming.
Yeah.
Like,
The one thing is while almost everything is on very fine like silver platters and goblets, and all the food like it already has like toothpicks in it with tiny little like silk ribbons around the ends. Like it's all overtly immaculate.
Mhm.
The loaf of bread in the middle is on a very simple wood platter, and it itself is very plain and dull. Something that y'all are aware of in this world is that when two groups come to a meeting, or like you take a guest into your home, it is custom to serve black rye bread and some form of wine, even if it's just very cheap, simple penny wine. That is a very common custom that is almost ubiquitous across the world, or at least this continent. Hence, as is custom, or as is the tradition of this world. Yes, as is tradition. And it's considered, like a very sacred thing of, you are my guests, and you will not offend me, and I am your gracious host, and I will not offend you. And this is a breaking of bread and a coming together.
You said this was like buffet style, right?
It is
Like,
it is, yeah.
family.
It is
Yeah.
just platters of food. It's all finger foods to be grabbed and consumed. Save the loaf of bread, which has like just a bread knife sticking out of the top. And yeah, as Solwyn is just like grabbing things, wanting to take a taste of everything. Wolfric
I'm trying to
You're-
be
you're-
subtle, but I'm not.
It is smooth and fine but quick. Whereas Wolfric just grabbed the first thing that he saw that contained boned in meat, and just grabbed it, which you can definitely smell a waft of like a pork pie, meat pie, that you just like grab and just sink you into juice immediately. Savory juice immediately just comes trickling into your beard. You throw back a goblet of wine, and you see 5 other bottles on the table. I assume the other 2 have come and sit down.
Ragnar's kind of like in between those two responses. He like grabs a plate and puts stuff on it.
Oh, there are
Very
no personal plates. This is all, you grab something, you eat it. There is no place to set it down.
He is very deliberately eating stuff. Like he's not like trying to hide it or anything like that. But he's not like, being
And
gross.
if the lady is taking any lack of word offense to lack of manners, she is not showing it, as she just very delicately removes the bread knife and just very slowly begins cutting it into slices.
I feel like it would be rude if we didn't take a piece of that, right?
Othmir hesitates at
Mhm.
first, and kind of turns a questioning look towards the
Mhm.
lady as if waiting for permission.
seeing your hesitance, you are in fact the first person to be handed a slice of the rye black loaf, and she gives like a very like hands together subtle nod into your direction as to seeing that you are kind of like waiting to complete the social etiquette of the moment. As
Right.
this is definitely something that you'd have done whenever you went to one of the towers, but it would have been way simplified. There would have just been like
Just
the loaf
bread.
of bread and very inexpensive wine in wooden cups.
Watered down juice wine.
Yeah, like communion wine.
Yeah.
Baptist wine.
He'll graciously take the bread,
Mhm.
nodding thanks, taking a cup of wine, sipping it, biting the bread.
Mhm.
With my passive perception, I will hopefully have noticed my faux pas and like slow the fuck down.
You see, yeah, noticing Hoffmir kind of, taking it slow. You pull it back a bit, and yeah, in each in turn, you are each given a slice of the rye bread.
Ulrich's just kind of like,
She in last takes up a small bit for herself, passing it between her lips, taking a pinky out small sip of the wine, setting it down, using the hand to make no noise, and says, "So, you are here for Kalen."
Yeah, I believe that's right.
Yes.
Okay.
Ah, wonderful. I do miss the man. I hope he hasn't fallen out of love with me again. This like very, you get a sense that she thinks very highly of herself, but is presenting it in a just of almost a very just casual, charming way. Well, you all look like capable fellows, so maybe you'll be able to help me out with my small quandary.
Well, that's, what we're here for. Also, I doubt you're out of his thoughts, as he did send us your way.
Oh. Again, you see like the motion of like, oh, I'm blushing. Well,
This is me blushing.
yeah, this is me blushing. And she casually pulls out a very long, a long pipe. It is immediately taken out of hand by one of the gilded, bronzed, armored servants. It is prepared and handed back and done as she then takes it back. So I've come into a bit of a problem. Back your way to the east, in fact. An excursion off the west of the mountains into the mountain range has come to a pause. We've heard neither a word or body from it, and I'm beginning to grow concerned. Alsvin was familiar with the region, but it looks to me like I have three sturdy what would a person from Brunelier be called? Brunelians?
Brunei?
No.
Bernays.
Bernies! It's Australian now!
Brunieri?
Yeah, okay, yeah. Ooh, I like that. Brunieri. Brunieri, who can probably traverse those impossible peaks. They were delving into the mountains and exploring the region, but my people, as I said, haven't returned, and I can't get message to or from them. And I was looking to call in a oh so small favor owed by Alsvin.
So he wants to go find out what's happening. He says, like, between mouthfuls.
Mm-hmm. If it wouldn't be too much to ask.
Well, I don't think it would be after the hospitality you've granted us. And also, that's why we're here, but I'll keep that part to myself.
I mean, technically speaking, you were told, by Kaylin, like, go see what she wants. If you can do it, awesome. If it sounds like it might be too much, come back to me. So, so for full context as to, how and why you were sent here.
So, what exactly? Where exactly? And what exactly do you need us to do?
Let's see. So, pulling up the map. She begins to explain to you that she that her financing and interest had funded an expedition into the Call Mountains, northeast of here, of a few hundred miles, about 100 miles north of. Let's zoom in on the region. Enhance. Basically, if y'all are vaguely speaking, Ozah's kind of hard to pin down. In this region, she is referencing to an area because there is a number of people here who understand the vague or general sense of the region. She says north, the base camp is on the outskirts of the desert, kind of vaguely in this region, and the expedition was supposed to be heading into the mountain range approximately in this general area, as she unscrolls a map that was already ready here on the table in front of her. My hope is that you'll be able to journey out and assess the situation and figure out what happened to the exploration team.
It seems possible.
Wonderful. She's kind of very slowly consuming the things in front of on the table as well. What hasn't platters that haven't already been picked clean by Wulfric's appetite. And so, how quickly do you think you would be able to set out? And
sorry.
Oh, and
as we can get a ship.
And do you have a ship already waiting, or shall I procure something for you?
Well, the ship we came on, they need some time to rest, so
True.
if you have one sooner.
Well, if you already know of a ship and their engineer only should need a few days to recuperate, that actually sounds like that would give you a chance to enjoy the city. I take it this is your first time to this wondrous creature?
Indeed.
It certainly is.
Indeed.
Well, then you're also in luck. It is an auspicious occasion. The water festival will be happening in 2 days' time. So, why don't just kind of laying out an idea or before you? Why don't you stay, relax, recuperate from your long journey yourselves, and enjoy the marvels of the festival, and make out on your way.
I don't really have a problem with that. It would be nice to do some sightseeing while we're out.
Sounds good to me.
I could tell that my friends here were ogling just a little bit on our way here.
It would be nice to visit the tower.
It is an enrapturing place, isn't it? Yes. Your kin often come here to visit the tower often. Though it is currently in a bit of a dour state. She kind of gives like a slightly softened, mournful look, like a side glance, like, oh whoa, like again,
Like,
very.
She wants me to ask what she's.
I mean, she would say no to you speaking to her. You get you get a sense of she likes having people. She likes it being in the center of this room. She likes having you here for this conversation and this attention, and takes deep satisfaction in even the polite compliments you've given.
Oh, madam, what has happened at the tower?
Oh, well, following up, it's a saddened thing. Master Juro, its keeper, has been ill of late. Old age, I believe, finally catching up to them.
This is tragic to hear.
Indeed, though it is amazing of one of the Sunborn living to see 212 years of age. Solwyn, you would know that while you are a longer-lived people,
My eyes got real big, and I
imagine normal human age plus 100 years is the typical lifespan of your people. So 212 is really fucking old.
Yeah.
But yeah, she agrees to see his 212th year. He's such a pleasant man, and dare I say, quite hilarious.
We should definitely take some time to go and visit him.
Wonderful. And will you need? No,
Wisdom
continue.
from what to see before the passes from this world would be most beneficial.
It would be interesting to hear what someone that long lived has to say about Seer and his faith.
Yes. The Vigilant Tower in all of his stoic glory. Quite the I was about to say she was about to say quite the man, but that's not quite the right gendering, is it? But yeah, quite the fellow. She says, almost like a dreamy what's the word I'm looking? An infatuation in her voice. Well then, if you require lodging, I'd be more than happy to continue hosting you here. Or if you'd like, I'm sure you can find rooms and board at one of the many inns here in the city.
We wouldn't want to.
I wouldn't mind having your hospitality. That's actually greatly appreciated.
Oh, wonderful. Hurek will be able to make any such arrangements on the property. Gesturing it like behind you. If you look over your shoulder, you just see kind of the person that guided you through the corridors, just waiting there. He gives a deep bow. It would be my honored pleasure, madame. So, if there is anything else you need, please let me know, or Hurek. Otherwise, I must prepare for the festival. It is only 2 days away.
Absolutely. We wouldn't want to impose.
You could never impose, dear. And she just gives you a deep, impassioned look.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and if you'll excuse me, and she'll very elegantly and smoothly stand up from her cushioned seat, put her she takes her pipe and just slides it into the pompadour and just starts very gracefully and levelly heading towards one of the walls as one of the sentries opens it for her, and she just disappears as the trail of her robed gown disappears into a corridor, and the wall once again becomes almost just like a flat, almost seamless mural.
Cool.
Now, I don't commonly read things like this wrong, but she's very unusual. Does she want company? Like,
I don't think she likes me.
huh?
If anyone wishes to feel like they want to get a reading on what just happened, you may feel free to make an insight roll.
Hey, does a passive 17 insight get me anything?
Okay, I'll accept that.
What about a 3?
From me.
Ragnan, she seems like you're an unusual, but completely unreadable. You are completely unsure if that was just like a over dramatized persona or how she actually is. You are completely unable to feel like you got a solid read other than the words that she said, but otherwise didn't seem deceitful or having other ulterior motives. You're completely baffled.
Huh.
Um,
For a small moment there, I thought she was coming on to, honestly, all of us.
That's definitely not an improper read.
Oh, I mean, I said that in character.
Yeah, and I am confirming
Okay.
that. Did anyone else? I know Hofmir got a 17 passively.
I rolled a 14.
You definitely got a almost like definitely like flirty, but like not serious flirty, like the kind of thing you do with a close friend kind of flirty.
Mm-hmm.
And you definitely got just like a very regal feel off them, and that their persona seemed genuine, if not just a little bit hyperbole.
Yeah.
Whereas Hofmir, with your just kind of passive 17, you got the sense that anytime you just did like I kind of said, gave just like that very passive, polite compliment like you do to a host or someone that you perceive of higher station, she took it deeply and personally, and seemed to be very ingratiated by your words, and almost like she overtly gestured, kind of in a way humbled by them, almost like she drank them in.
Interesting.
I have a thought out of character and after session about that.
Also,
Yeah, I was about to say, which at this point seems like maybe a good place to end this session.
Cool.
Cool
start.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone.
Dude.
Yeah. I'm super excited. I was very much looking forward to playing that NPC. For those who know the person, Joe wrote it.
Okay.
And I tried to unleash my inner. I was trying to play Joe playing that character.
Okay, sure.
Like, just thinking back on them. And yeah, they are a very interesting person in this world, and definitely very strange to you, and unfamiliar, and bizarre, and enrapturing.
Yeah, out of character, I'm thinking some sort of emotional vampire.
I was gonna say the same thing. Like, that's a fucking white
Yeah.
court vampire.
Little bit.
Well, maybe you'll find out. Who knows? Well, that'll just depend on how long you're here on Ozah. And
I'm looking forward to next Tuesday.
yeah,
Mhm.
I'm desperately looking forward to next Tuesday. I'm also super happy that so far that I hit this session, like, I hit every little beat I wanted to with the time we had.
Cool.
So that definitely makes me feel very confident about the timeline we have for this mini adventure. I'm usually really bad about accidentally overshooting my timeline or amount of time. I usually go over by like a solid 100%. But yeah, welcome to the world of Beryl, everyone. I'm ecstatic to get to do this.
Yep.
I
Thank you,
have
Phil, for stepping in.
90 plus pages, and I'm finally doing something with it.
Yeah, Phil did need a lot of convincing to step in and run something.
And
Hey, Philip, D&D? Yes!
yeah, I'm. Oh, and actually, a feature of this person that kind of went unseen and was only fully noticed as she walked forward. She's, like those monk sandals that have like the 2 blocks under them?
Oh, yeah.
She's wearing like those, but like 7 inches.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's like that guy in Princess Mononoke.
Yeah, kind of, not the single block, it's still 2, but imagine those sandals kind of combined with like the Greek Roman sandal with like the bands.
Sure.
It's like that.
She
I
was still tall even without the sandals, right?
Oh yeah. So if that would put her at 7 feet tall.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, then a giant, like, ornate, like, rose on her shoulder, the patterning, a lacy golden silk in the robes,
Yeah, I was thinking
legs.
she might have been a Steinkin at first.
Her complexion is paler in like porcelain. It's very strange. You definitely see like amalgamations of different people's features. But nothing. It's like it's almost like she's 25% of different people's. Is, I guess, like the best way. It's like a seamless, beautiful figure.
Sure.
Did we mention that she's beautiful?
No, James, I don't think I did. Yeah, she's hot as fuck.
Cool. Hot.
Alrighty.
Yeah, long.
On that note,
Yeah, long fingernails with gold dust. One of those really cool, like, finger metal covers that goes along the thing that's hinged.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's for doing cocaine.
Yeah. What do you think's in the fucking pipe, my dude? She might not be a stone engineer, but... yeah. I was, when Joe told me this character has a fucking pompadour, I was like, fuck yeah. So yeah, well, thank you everyone, and have a good rest of your week. Is there anything else happening this week, Chris?
I think I'm gonna try to get back to Paper Mario on Thursday. I think.
Is this you finishing a Paper Mario before starting the newest one, or is this you doing the newest one?
This is me playing the 1,000-Year Door.
Okay.
With plans to play the new one at some point.
Okay. Awesome.
For now, just playing through the 1,000-Year Door.
Cool. Well,
See what happens after that. I think we're on chapter 6 now.
yeah. I'll take us back to So yeah. So yeah, look forward to that, and look forward to more of this and anything and everything else we do here at KrakenQuest Gaming. So yeah, have a good night, everyone.
Night,
Night.
everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh yeah, I don't turn off the stream.
That's
You're
the
in my
whole
house
thing
now.